Keith from Sky with the first two or three.
Jürgen, can we start first with your injury situation, please? Coutinho and Lovren, how are they?
Not 100% sure though. They both are much better, but if it will be okay for tomorrow night, I don't know in this moment. So we have to see. We have to. I said our session at 5. We'll see who will be involved then. In this moment, I actually hope for both being involved in the session. That would give us then at least opportunity. If they will not train, it would not, especially in Dejan's case, not mean immediately that he cannot play because he would be 3 days or something. So if he could train tomorrow morning, that would be enough. But yes, no, don't know exactly. We have a few little things after the game. Alberto had a little kind of a cramp. Joe felt a little bit, so we were really careful in the last 2 days and tonight and especially tomorrow morning. Probably that will be the first moment when I really think about the lineup, when I know 100% who is available.
Are you tempted to maybe sort of not take a risk or rest a couple of your bigger name players?
I never take risk actually with lineup. So if a player is playing, then we expect him at 100%. So that's a clear thing. So it's not if he tells me I have a problem here or there. Then it's only one talk with the medical department, and what does it mean? So if you feel kind of a bruise or whatever, a little knock somewhere, that's not a problem. But all what's when muscles are involved, then we never take a risk. So, but probably I know where your question is leading to. I don't think about rotation. I think about having a 100% spot-on team tomorrow night, and that's all. And I think I said a few times when I think about lineup, the last game has influence because that means we have to see how the people came through it. But the next game has never influenced. That's not possible. So yeah, we will line up tomorrow the strongest side.
Yeah, some concerning news this morning. Dejan Lovren.
Sorry, Keith, I'll interrupt on that. We're not going to take a question from the top table on that, which is the manager's come straight to the press conference and the players aren't reporting until later. So the manager would be commenting without having spoken to the player or already seen what you're talking to, so if it's okay, I'll deal with you after that. Anything else on football before I hand over to Pete?
7-0 in the reverse fixture. You've set the bar pretty high for this one.
Yeah. And I can imagine. So it's for me, it's no problem. But I can imagine that how people. I'm 50 years old, so I know a lot of people. And what people think after results like this, this world, the respect is a big problem, I would say, in general. And after 7-0, maybe a lot of people wouldn't respect Maribor anymore. But we know how strong they can be if we let them be. So that's how it is. And the 7-0, this game, the result is not even 1% of our analyze. That doesn't mean that we don't use the good things. That we do that. We have to because we have to do it again. But yeah, maybe it's a challenge for a lot of people to be 100% spot on, and that's my job is to make sure that we are 100% spot on. Don't think about result. You never should think about before a game. You should think about result before the game, and we want to win this game. That's 100% clear. If we win it 1-0. I'm fine. So we want to have the 3 points. We want to have a clean sheet. We want to have a better position after the game than we have now. And that's all. And the other game, thank God, is already 2 weeks ago or something like this. We had a few games in between. So better ones and not so good ones. So, yes, we will be 100% focused.
We're going to go Peter next and then Juliet and James. So we will go around the room. Peter, a couple for you.
Jürgen, this group's looking good for you. If you win the next 2 games in the group, you top the group, you're through to the last 16, by my reckoning. So how big a bonus would that be for you in terms of the bigger picture and the bigger picture of the season as a whole?
Germany, if you're saying you should not split, I'm not sure, the bear before you shot him. Sorry. Maybe not the nicest comment, but it's yeah. So we how can I think about if we win the next 2 or whatever? So it will be really difficult to win both of them. I think we play tomorrow Maribor and then it's away at Seville. I don't think they lost a lot of home games in the younger history. So, no, I don't think about this. But, of course, our aim is to go through this group stage. That's 100%. And we had so far really good performances in this group. That's how it is. We played really well against them. We played really good in Moscow. And I think Anfield always should be a fortress. So that means we have to win our home games, and that's tomorrow not different than in all the other games. And take whatever we can get. If we perform well, try to win. That's a way, of course, but get a result there. That's all clear when we have these games. So in this moment, it's all about Maribor, and really the group with the last result maybe between Moscow and Seville was. Everybody thought, oops, what happened there? If you saw the game, it was even more strange. Seville was really good. They had a lot of chances, a lot of good situations, but at the end it was a clear result because Promise played this night, who didn't play against us, a quite decisive player. So this group is still open, but I don't care about the group. I care about us, and we all want to go to the next round. That's for sure, but that was clear at the beginning.
Gentleman at the back of the room, before we go to James.
You said before about trying to keep the team at 100%, and they're going to be 100% tomorrow. Seeing it's a specific situation, as you've won the previous match 7-0, any difference in preparation, any special techniques to get the players to 100%?
No, I think as a football team, as a professional football team, we at one point we really should trust each other that we are really always ready. So my team didn't give me a lot of reasons to be concerned about that. So we know how important it is for us. We know how hard we fought for this Champions League, and how we would let's slip it through our fingers, if you want, only because we are not at 100%. Concentration, attitude, readiness, stuff like this, that would be really crazy. It's difficult enough to win a football game. It's like this. Even when you are at 100%, it's still difficult. And the last game started really well for us. We had the early goal, could score the next one not too long after that, and the third one, and that didn't feel like 100% decisive already. Like we closed the game, not because of our performance, only because Maribor almost still played a little bit football. We lost one challenge. They were in front of our goal and stuff like this. I had too many football games in my life to be to feel relaxed or whatever before a game like this. It's Champions League. They deserve to be in Champions League. We deserve to be in Champions League. And we decide with our performance if we deserve to stay in Champions League. And that's all what we are thinking about.
Okay, I'm going to go to James.
Jürgen, you spoke last season about the fact that your team were perhaps still learning about the experience of winning and competing for trophies. Do you feel that this year in the Champions League, that is a development that your team is going through?
Do we talk now? If I say now yes, is then the headline tomorrow? We will win the Champions League, or what? Only to make it sure that that there's no misunderstanding.
Are you still learning how to be a team within the context of the Champions League and the games coming through?
One and a half weeks ago, we lost against Tottenham. We were really disappointed. We put in a bad performance. It was not good. It was not good enough. We made it life much too easy for Tottenham, stuff like this. How can I now? So now, okay, it's another competition, but I never ignore performances, not the good ones, not the bad ones. So I work with it. That's how it is. And whatever I could say now would not change our ambitions, would not make it more likely that we win something, or would make it impossible to win something. We have to prove on the pitch. That's what we have to do. And that all the time, again and again and again. That's what we have to do. And then at one point maybe we can talk about that. Now it's obvious we learned from our experiences or something. But 1.5 weeks after a bad game, I cannot say finally yes. Of course we learned from it. So far in the life is a steady progress. We always have to learn, to improve, and that's what we do, of course. But I don't think that a lot of people reach the final point when then everything works really well. So, but have no problem with this. again, this is another competition. It's a Champions League. So far, all the games were really, really good. From the result side, okay. From the performance side, really good. And that's what we first of all have to do again. And that's what I'm thinking about. Not about opportunity to win something. If you are part of a tournament, of course, you want to win it. Is it likely? Not sure. There are a few good teams out there. So.
Okay, guys, I'm going to take the final question for Jürgen. I'll come to you in a second, Pete. Just a reminder that James Milner is the player who's coming in as soon as Jürgen's finished. And then our training at 5, and that's James will inform you, and UEFA will inform you. At the moment, it's 8:30 for Maribor's press conference here.
The land at 7:45.
The land at 7:45. So
You know that he said already.
yes, I wanted to say Jane in the room as well. So there you go. So see, there's a reason for it.
Maybe 5 minutes again.
Anything from our Maribor guest?
Mr. Klopp, after the loss against Liverpool, Maribor went and won 2 games in the home championship by 1-0. Did you maybe watch those games? Did you see some changes? Do you expect some adaptations in Maribor's performance tomorrow regarding to the first game that you played in Midfield?
You never can be sure about lineup, but they changed lineup. Another striker. Offensive midfield was a little bit different. A few positions were a little bit different. And unfortunately, I don't know the name of the second team, but one game was against Domsale, right? That's a very good team. And that was open game. A lot of good chances from Maribor. Not chances, but they were really often in the box of Domsale, I would say, with the crosses were not good enough in this moment. So we watched these games, 100%. So I respect Maribor a lot. I respect them before the game, and why should I change it now? So that's different approach, different style of play. Probably you play different between home game, or make a difference between home and away games. That's possible. But Maribor is and will always be a football playing side. If they would change this completely, they would take away their biggest strength, 100%. So I don't expect that. If we give them the opportunity, they immediately will play football. That's what they did in the first game as well. And yes, but we know that we have influence on the game as well, and that's what we always want to have. That's the big plan, if you want. 2 different moments. They have the ball, we have the ball. We need to have a plan for both situations. And at the end, we had 2 games as well afterwards. One bad one really good one, and probably we should use the good one more for our preparation than the other one.
Is that okay for our single visitor from Maribor? You happy with that? Okay, good. Peter for the final question.
Jürgen, can you just have an update on Marnie and Lallana, please, because they've been missing for a while now. Are they close to being back, both of those 2?
Yes, it looks good. Both looking good. Sadio had this morning kind of a clearing session before he comes back to training. We have to see how he will react on this. The session was good, how I've heard, and of course will not be in the squad. He has now tomorrow more a down day when he's kind of recovering from today, and then on Thursday he should be in training. Whatever that means, we will have to see then. Adam will be part of team training then into the national break. So, and then we need to see then. But that means both of them obviously in a good way, but not the way is not good enough to involve them tomorrow or at the weekend at West Ham.
Okay, if you want to stay exactly where you are, guys, James will be coming straight in, and then we'll see you at Melwood for training.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Thank you.
Want to kick things off? Yeah, James, you set the standard with the 7-0 away from home. You must be pretty confident you can get another good one, another good result this time.
Yeah, hopefully, but we won't take them lightly. We know they're a strong team. You don't get to the group stage of Champions League without being a strong side. I think we performed very well on the night, and I don't think they performed to their standards. So, if I was in their dressing room, I know they want to put that right. And obviously, coming to Anfield, it's another game again and a special occasion. So, we have to be on top of our game, make sure we perform the same, set the same tempo that we did last time, and come out all guns blazing.
Performance, good win at the weekend for you guys. Is there still a little bit of a point to prove though after the Spurs game? Are you guys still hurting a little bit from that?
I think obviously it's nice to bounce back with a win. We knew it'd be a tough game at the weekend, especially after the first seconds really, and they just sat back in the shape. We knew it'd be tough to break them down. That they were strong defensively, and it was down to us to do that. First half we probably didn't create enough and missed the opportunity, but I think the character the boys shown to bounce back and perform second half and come out with a good win was a good response to the Spurs game. Obviously that was disappointing, but I think the first part of the season we know we can improve in various areas, and we want to look to do that.
Are you enjoying being back in the midfield?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously last season was asked to do a job and did that as well as I could. And I said at the time I don't enjoy playing there. I didn't like it, but the team always comes first, and you do what's asked of you, and that is always the case. But definitely felt myself enjoying my football again in the midfield this year. And nice. Just want to get out there and contribute as much as I can to the side.
James, how important is momentum for you? Because everybody expects a win tomorrow, but in terms of building up win after win after win, and ideally in the Premier League catching your own club City, how important is momentum?
Yeah, it's very important. It's something which is pretty hard to get in this stage of the season with the international break every 4 weeks. So, that doesn't help, I don't think. But it'd be nice to finish off this week with 2 more wins and then get through that break. And then you are in a phase of the season where there are a lot of games, obviously, over Christmas and Christmas coming up and things like that. So it is a chance to get more the momentum going. But, we're early stages in the season, and like I said, we've shown glimpses, we've had injuries, things like that, but I think we're waiting for it all to click, and I think we've shown that in Maribor. When it does, it's pretty devastating, but we have to get that consistency and make sure we do it on a more consistent basis.
And if you're running loads of goals in against possibly the weakest team in the group, does that not matter? Is it just a case of you scoring goals, so that's bound to help with confidence?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's about putting in a good performance. Ultimately, it's about getting the 3 points. That's the most important thing. If you can score goals as well, great. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be an easy game. It's important that we're ready to match that effort levels and break them down. I'm sure they're going to defend in numbers again and maybe look to hit us on the break. So it's important that we're solid at the back, and when we are attacking, we keep that back door shut. But I think the group is a strange one already. You've seen that there's a mixture of results and anything can happen, so it could go down to goal difference as well. So it's important that we do stay focused and put in a good performance and hopefully get a good result.
Okay, Sam?
James, you've had 3 games in a row now starting in central midfield. Is it a case of readjusting back to that position after playing the whole of last season left back?
Yeah, obviously I've played there in training, but there's nothing like playing in games as well. So yeah, it might take the odd game to get fully up to being 100% comfortable in there or make it feel like normal. But like I said before, I'm just enjoying being in there and just want to contribute, and hopefully I can get around the field and contribute at both ends of the field.
Yeah, well, tomorrow night obviously back at Anfield. How big can the fans make it tomorrow? Obviously the last game was a comfortable win, but is it important for us to have a good atmosphere?
Yeah, definitely. I think European nights are always special at Anfield. There's not too many places in the world like it, and that atmosphere makes a massive difference. And I think it is important. Obviously, people expect us to win, but we have to do the job, and they are going to come out and want to put on their best performance as well, and that will make it a lot tougher than it was last time out there. So we need to stay focused, but to have the crowd behind us and have that great atmosphere on a European night at Anfield is always special and helps the players.
Okay, Dom.
Can you just give us an idea of how frustrating personally was the start of the season was for you in terms of the lack of minutes that you got and have been used to?
Yeah, very frustrating. Every player wants to play football, and that's what I want to do. And you know, the manager picks a team, and if it's not happening, you have to try force your way in there, and then when you do get a chance, if you do get a chance, try take it. And you know, I played the last 3 games. Hopefully, I've done enough to try stake a claim for that shirt. And you know, we've got so many games and such a talented squad of players. There's going to be rotation. There's going to be changes, injuries, suspensions, things like that. But as an individual, you just want to perform as well as you can and get that chance to perform. And then, you know, obviously, it's down to the managers to pick the team.
Did the manager speak to you about it, or because there was obviously some in the summer, and clubs would have probably been looking at you in January and thinking if he's not playing, we may be able to take him away, but clearly the club wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think obviously at the start of the season, the manager pulled me in and said, you know, he's looking at me more in the midfield now, which I was obviously delighted with, and then didn't play too much after that. But you know, after that, it's down to me to force my way into the team. If you like, the manager's always got to pick a team, and like I said, he's got a tough decision every time he picks that team, because we've got a talented group of players and competition for places. So, you know, for me as a player, you just want that chance to be able to show. And you know, I think over the years in my career, hopefully I've done enough to get a chance. And now I've played a few games this year. I just want to keep improving and keep contributing to the side.
Okay. Just back a little. A few of the Maribor players said that they were most impressed with your performance out of the individual performances at the match in Maribor. Anybody stand out in Maribor's side 2 weeks ago?
It's a hard question to answer that, obviously, because of the result. You know, I don't think any of their players performed the best, really, and they'll know that. I'm sure we'll see a very different side tonight, and nobody will be surprised of that. But I think it's important as a team of ourselves, we have to make sure that we concentrate on our job and do our side of the work and work hard and play well. If we do that, we know that we have the quality to win the game. But we are expecting to see a very different Maribor side.
Okay. Any final questions, James? Can I ask you about, have you trained at all with the young lad Ryan Brewster, who scored the goal? What's he like?
Yeah, I've on the international breaks and things, we have games now, and played with him a few times last year, and this year he's definitely a talent. As you can see, he can score goals, which is the hardest thing to do in football, and a lot of pace, good lad as well. He wants to listen and learn, and that's half the battle, I think. So amazing what they've gone out there and done. You know, great to watch it. We had it on in the dressing room in the final after our game at the weekend, and you know, giving Alberto Moreno a bit of stick at the same time as well. But it was great to see them do well. They've done us proud, and obviously it's amazing for England youth teams that the performances they've put in the World Cup, and great for us as a national team coming through.
So I know we weren't really. Jürgen did want to speak about the Lovren situation. I wasn't too sure whether James was aware of it or not. So that's fine. Okay. Any final questions?
James, just wondered, really good to see the team come on. We only spoke to last year, obviously winning the Champions League, and you've obviously got a previous good experience. Is it just inevitable would be maybe a slight dip compared to where you were a year ago, but having the two competitions? Was that just something that the team's going to evolve in that way?
I wouldn't necessarily tie it in together. I think, you know, the start of the season we haven't been as consistent as we'd liked, and the performances in the league or results haven't been as good as we would have liked. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say that's down to the Champions League, to be honest. I think that's us maybe not starting the season as well as we wanted. You know, losing a few players injury. Adam Lallana, I think, is obviously a big miss for us. He sets the tempo for us both ways, and Phil obviously having the odd injuries and things like this. So it's been a bit disruptive, and the international breaks. You know, every team has it, so I don't want to make it excuses, and that's our reason why. But you know, there's all these little factors. So I won't say it's the European football thing. I just think it's we haven't hit our stride yet, and I think we all know when we do, we can beat absolutely anyone out there. So it's important that we find that and keep improving and moving forward as a team.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.